Hi guys, Master John here. Today we're going to be going over walking techniques in a front stance. If you remember from before, a front stance was a position where your feet are about shoulder width apart and your front leg is bent while your back leg is as straight as it can be. If you want to check the spacing from the front to the back, you can drop down on the knee and the knee should basically line up with the heel. If you're too far out, that's too deep. And if you're not far out enough, then that's going to be too shallow. So typically it would look something like this. If I was asking you to do walking techniques, you would start with your hands on your waist. I would ask you to step out with your left leg, and then you would get into that position. When you step forward, the back foot pulls in, and then you step out, taking care to keep the shoulders square. We step in, we step out, step in, step out, doing our best to not bob up. Okay, I might ask you to retreat. So you would pull your front foot in, step back, front foot in, step back, step in, step back, and finishing up. Okay, one more time. Step out, bend the front knee, step in, step out, bend the front knee. Make sure we're locking the back leg out as straight as possible. Step in and step out. And step in, step out. Going backwards. After we get done just doing the walking techniques, typically we would start with a punch. Hand by the side, steps up, and we punch out. Taking care to pull the foot up sideways, to pull the hip back a little bit, punch, after you do the punch, the next technique is usually a low block or a haran maki in Korean. Sometimes it's good to just practice in place where you stay in your front stance and you're going to take whatever leg is forward, you're going to take that hand and you're going to cross it up and bring the other one underneath. Nice and straight, don't bend the arm, don't keep it on the body. So the top hand is going to swing down while the other one chambers by the hip. So you might do that a few times until you get accustomed to that motion. You can switch your stance. You could try it on the other side. Cross and block. Make sure you don't bring your hand out past your knee. Cross and block, like so. Once you're comfortable doing that on both sides, then hopefully you can do that going forward and backwards. So if I'm going to step out with my left leg, that means the left hand comes up. I step out and do my block. The hand that's by the side comes up. Step in and step out. The hand that's by the side comes up. Step in, step out. The hand that's by the side comes up. I step in, step out. And then I would retrace my steps. The hand that's by the side comes up. I step in and step out. Cross the hands. Step in, step out. Cross the hands. Step in, step out. And return. The next technique will be our high block or sangdan maki. So the one hand will be going over the head and the other hand will be chambering. So I want my palm to be facing outward and upward. I want my arm to be on a 45-degree angle out in front of my head. Sometimes people have it behind their head. So like our low block, we might practice in place, crossing, and blocking, and then we would switch our stance, taking that bottom hand, bringing it up, like so, and once we were comfortable, then we could put that into action. If I was going to step with my left leg, my left hand will come underneath, and I'll step out, roll the arm up, the hand that's by the side goes under, step in, step out. The hand that's by the side goes under, step in, step out. This one comes under, and then I retrace my steps. Our next technique will be our inside-outside block. So this is a circular block which comes from the inside of the body and rotates to the outside. The arm is going to end up being kind of like the letter V. I'd like the hand to be about shoulder level, not too high. So we can practice in place. It crosses the same way that a high block would cross. So our blocking hand comes underneath before we circle through. Do your best to not go out past your shoulder. Okay, so we cross and block. We can try it on the other side. This blocking hand will come under. Practicing that motion. And then starting from the beginning. I'm going to be stepping with my left leg, so my left hand comes underneath. I step out and do my block. This one comes under. Cross. Cross first. Always cross before you move your body. Cross first and then move. Cross first and then move. And return. The next block in our series is our reinforcing block. It's very similar to our inside-outside block, except the way we set up is a little bit different, and we reinforce the blocking arm with the other arm. So this hand is going to come across the forearm. So if you were in your fighting stance, your front stance, you would, almost like you were punching your knuckles together, you would start on the back hip and swing through. The hand should be shoulder level. We're not blocking past the body. Twisting like so. Trying it with the other leg forward. We're going to come back to this side and reinforce the forearm like so. From the side. That is what the position looks like if you saw me from the side. So this one is a little bit different. I'm going to start back here. I'm going to bring my hands to my right side because I'm stepping out with my left leg, reinforcing. This is my front hip, so I set up here. I'm going to twist in and then come back. Set up on the front, block, set up on the front, block, and then go backwards. Set up on the front, set up on the front, set up on the front,